saw a wild turkey in my driveway. I'm hoping I can get a picture of it. Going behind that mound. Brock and I decided that we should move the travel trailer down toward the build site. This will get me closer to the outhouse. It'll get me closer to where I'm going to build the tiny cabin. It'll get it closer to where its kind of forever home is going to be. But before I can move the travel trailer, I have to move some junk out of the way. Let's start with this metal here. It's the frame from an old canopy that broke last year, and I want to keep the parts to it that are still good. So let's go ahead and get this taken care of and get it out of the way. I also need to move this big mound of sand because that sand is where my trailer is going to park. So let's go ahead and knock down the weeds with the brush cutter so that we can get plastic down and then start moving the sand. Well, it's almost noon, and it's getting hot, and this weekend is supposed to be miserably hot. So I think I'm going to stop where I'm at. Hopefully I can get out here tomorrow morning before it gets really hot. I can't work in the direct sun. I ended up a little dehydrated yesterday and a little overheated. So I'm going to stop here and pick back up hopefully early tomorrow morning. So we had really bad thunderstorms last night, and it's supposed to be almost 90 degrees today. I have a very short window in which to work. So because I've seen sign of dangerous wild animals right here at the build site, I've got the dogs with me to alert me, and I've got protection on my side here, on my hip. But it's really wet. I'm probably not going to be moving that sand today. So I think what I'll do is take a whole bunch of measurements so that when I am ready to start cutting wood, I will be able to cut everything all at once. And that includes trim and all these little final touches I need to do to have the outhouse completely dried in so that we can get it approved for use. Now, I didn't bring my camera today, so I will record until somebody calls me. First things first, I need to figure out how to take the two pieces of our little giant ladder apart. I think I got it figured out. Pull this out and turn it. Pull that out. And that unlocks it. The big piece comes out. Then turn this over. Do the same thing on this side. Had it on the ground, and so it got really dirty during that storm last night. But it's aluminum. It's not going to harm it. This piece becomes a small ladder. You have to push in on both of those orange knobs and open the ladder at the same time. And that ladder is taller than I am. Let's see what I can do. There we go. Now they've locked back into place, and the ladder will not fold up. Next, we need to turn those two pieces into an A-frame. And it comes with a couple of brackets that you use. I just have to figure out how to do it. But what do you know? The locking mechanism goes through this hole. This right here rests on the outside of the outside edge of the ladder. Voila! I have two A-frames. All right. That made it a lot nicer. is 194 inches. Otherwise, I gotta go buy another one. Flies are starting to get bad. Dogs are starting to lose their shade as the sun came out. I had 192 inches. You know what? I'll split the difference. I'll lose an inch on each side. I don't care. Alright, half of 192 is 96 inches. So yesterday was an absolute scorcher. It was over 90 degrees with the heat index. It felt like over 100. It was also Sunday. So regardless to the heat, I wasn't working down here yesterday. But we've got everything cut out. I just have to get one more piece of plywood that I can't get until the next time I go into lawns. But we sure can get an awful lot done today. I picked up some screws yesterday because it was my only opportunity. Anyway, let's see what we can get done today. It just got really super dark and started raining. So I hurried up to cover some of my stuff. It rained for 2 minutes. And now it's sunny again. So let's get back to work. Well, folks, there is my outhouse door. I was gonna put the hinges on it and get it hung, except that the holes in my hinges are much bigger than the heads of my screws. So when I go into town tomorrow, I will stop at the hardware store. I'll take a hinge with me, and I will get some screws that will work with those hinges. Also, I am not putting trim on the door or around the door opening right now. And the reason is that I have to special order the trim in order to be able to trim that door. It's LP Smart Side. It's the trim that goes with it. It's exactly 1 inch thick. So using 2x material isn't going to work, and using 1x material isn't going to work because 1x material is only 3/4 of an inch thick. So I'm kind of at a standstill right there. I'm going to get some shelves up on the inside of my outhouse so I can clean it up. And we're going to call it because I have some materials that I have to purchase before I can finish. Well, we're making progress. Here's what I still need to do before I can have the health department come out and inspect. I need to install the door and weather strip around the door. Add an automatic door closer to the door. I'm not sure what that's going to look like. I'll figure it out. I need to add a soffit and some trim there. And I need to add some trim up there in order to finish sealing. I also need to take that giant pipe. I need to cut it to 12 feet instead of, I think that's 16 feet. Cut it down to 12 feet and paint it black. I need to put a vent in one end, put screen inside that vent, put the cap on, and install it right there. I have metal strapping so that I can actually strap it to the wall, but the top of the vent has to be above the level of the roof. So that is all I have left to do before I can have the health department come and inspect. Now, I've seen people put outhouses up in a day on videos. starting in the morning, digging a hole and just whacking up a few boards. This is much bigger than your average outhouse. In fact, it's 4 times the size of your average outhouse. And I think it's a lot more involved than your average outhouse. So it is taking me longer than you would think it would. But we're almost there. So God willing, next week I'll be able to get it inspected. Now, just so you know, I start a job tomorrow. And so tomorrow I won't be working out here. So I'm losing a day for that. And once I have my work schedule, I'll know when I can come out here and work and when I can't. Meanwhile, I have to go back to the trailer, deliver the dogs to the trailer because they're being very much distressed by the flies. So we're going to call it for the week. I'll come back down and clean up when I come for my shower later. Have a great week. Thanks for watching, and God bless.